So I noticed that my last Let It Die content was well received by you guys, so here's more I guess. Introducing the Hangman'S Handbook, which is essentially just my compilation of tips for anyone who wishes to climb the Tower of Barbs. I've been climbing the tower for years now, and so far the highest floor I've reached is floor 100. So I think that certifies me to give tips for both veterans and newbies alike. So without further delays, let's get on with the video. First lesson will be on haters. Before anything else, I think it's crucial for me to teach you guys about the haters and how to deal with them, because they're one of the biggest threats in the game which you'll encounter most often. So to summarize, haters are player fighters who died on a floor and has risen to fight other players. There can only be one hater per each floor, and if you are hunted down by a player, a hunter can take its place. These guys are not like the regular screamer enemies found throughout the tower, in a sense that they're more defensive and look for openings on when to attack you. Generally, they're a lot smarter than screamers. These guys can really mess you up on the upper floors, especially if your only plan of attack is to randomly swing at them with your weapon. 1. Because block attacks deal way less damage than solid hits. And 2. Being blocked leaves you to openings within your combo, which may prove fatal under the right circumstances. In general, when dealing with a hater, it is wiser to react to their attacks rather than initiating offense. With that being said, my tip with haters is to bait out their attacks before trying to hit them. Now I'm aware that they seem to attack at random times, but there's a surefire way in order to make them hit you. Just show your back to them and they'll go full aggressive mode. Once you see an opening, strike back with your own combo and then rinse and repeat until they're dead. You might ask, but senpai, what about the Kama's assault rifle haters? Well, to that I say, bring weapons specific to dealing with them and put that dodge button to work. The deal with Kama's haters is that they tend to block a lot when you're assaulting them, and they can't really stagger you with their attacks because they use assault rifles. I usually dodge twice to negate their volley of shots and try to get to them. Then I use weapon attacks that can't be blocked. I personally use the Cleaver Saber or the Flamethrower, but as long as it gets the job done, any weapon can do. Alternatively, you can bait out the bullets and get closer as they run out of ammo, then strike once they reload. Usually they take around 4 to 7 fighting sequences before they run out of bullets, so plan accordingly. Using mushrooms that incapacitate them along with weapons that don't stagger them also works, but we all know that they won't always be available, especially on the higher floors. Okay, enough about beating them. Now let's talk about the special things they do. On floors 42 and above, haters have the ability to attract other haters to your location. You'll know that this is happening when they scream while they thrust their hips at you. The attracted haters will run to your location but not necessarily know of your presence immediately. Since that is the case, if you ever see this animation, the best course of action is to run. Same goes if you feel like you're being outnumbered. Just keep breaking the line of sight of your pursuers, and at some point they'll stop running and just return to their patrolling routine. Research and development. Okay, if the tips I mentioned before didn't work out for you because your weapon only manages to tickle the hater, or you get one-shotted in more cases than not, then I'm willing to bet that you are slacking behind on research and development. R&D is a huge part of Let It Die and one that you shouldn't neglect because it grants you the boost in stats that you'll need in order to climb the Tower of Barbs. Essentially, R&D is done by gathering blueprints and materials in the Tower of Barbs and enlisting the help of Commodore Chocofunsha to spend time in upgrading specific weapons and armor. Upgrades make your equipment tougher and deal more damage. Most weapons and armor go up a tier after its 5th upgrade on the current tier. This tier upgrade only happens 4 times for most weapons and armor, and each tier entails the following: aesthetic change in the weapon or armor, add a new purchasable version of the weapon, grant a significant improvement in stats, alter the general materials required for each upgrade, and lastly, grant you with fun shots. Now you may ask, Senpai, what in the world is a fun shot? Well, we'll talk about that later. Now, after increasing the tier of an equipment 4 times, if you upgrade it again after the 5th upgrade, it undergoes a process called uncapping. This entails all the different consequences of tier upgrades, but most importantly, it grants the equipment an exponential increase in durability, which is quite a big deal. You see, in Let It Die, your equipment slowly get degraded as you use them, and as they get worn off, their stats also decrease. If your armor is on its last leg, it may not be protecting you as much as it did when it was brand new. The point here is, keep an eye out on your equipment durability, and if it gets pretty low, replace them as soon as possible. Okay, now back to fun shots. Whenever you upgrade an equipment for the first time, or increase its tier, or uncap it, you gain a fun shot for the damage type or armor part you just upgraded. So for weapons, it's slash, blunt, and piercing, and for armor, it's the headpiece, the chest piece, and the pants. So your fun shot level is indicated by the percentages on the bottom right when you visit Chocofunsha. So these percentages tell us that the attack and defense of equipment related to those fun shots are passively boosted by that much. So for example, if you have a 15% fun shot for slashing weapons, weapons like knives, katanas, or buzzsaws would act as if you had a barbell decal equipped without even having that decal on you. So with that being said, my tip is that to always have something upgrading at the store, even when you don't plan on using them. Oh, and always pick up metals and tuber metals because they are the most demanded metals in R&D. So just to reiterate, if you're not dealing enough damage to haters or you keep getting one-shotted, just keep upgrading and climb on, you'll make it at some point. So that's about it for this episode because I believe I've dragged on long enough. I hope this video helps out aspiring tower climbers and at least inform long-time climbers. So, did I get anything wrong? Do you think there's a better way of dealing with the things I mentioned? Or do you guys want me to cover another topic? Let me know in the comments below. As always, remember to leave a like if you've enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content like this. Have a nice day and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.